Divine Sacrifice, Words of our Divine Mother, from the All India Magazine of August 2015, page 16, topic Divine Sacrifice, subtopic The Inner Reason for Sri Aurobindo's Withdrawal. Our Divine Mother says, the lack of receptivity of the earth and men is mostly responsible for the decision Sri Aurobindo has taken regarding his body. But one thing is certain, what has happened on the physical plane affects in no way the truth of his teaching. All that he has said is perfectly true and remains so. Time and the course of events will prove it abundantly. Our Divine Mother says, I was painfully shocked when I heard the translation of the leaflet you are distributing here in the ashram. I never imagined you could have such a complex lack of understanding, respect and devotion for our Lord who has sacrificed himself totally for us. Sri Aurobindo was not crippled. A few hours before he left his body, he rose from his bed and sat for a long time in his armchair, speaking freely to all those around him. Sri Aurobindo was not compelled to leave his body. He chose to do so for reasons so sublime that they are beyond the reach of human mentality. And when one cannot understand, the only thing to do is to keep a respectful silence. Our Divine Mother says, Sri Aurobindo has given up his body in an act of supreme unselfishness, renouncing the realization in his own body to hasten the hour of the collective realization. Surely, if the earth were more responsive, this would not have been necessary.
Sudden and formidable faces that raised alluring lips and eyes approached him, armed with beauty like a snare, but hid a fatal meaning in each line and could, in a moment, dangerously change. But he alone discerned that screamed attack.
Next subtopic, the promise of Sri Aurobindo. Our Divine Mother says, what Sri Aurobindo promised and what naturally interests us, we who are here now, is that the time has come when some beings above, among the elite of humanity who fulfill the conditions necessary for spiritualization, will be able to transform their bodies with the help of the supramental force, consciousness and light, so as no longer to be animal men but become supermen. For elite, our Divine Mother says, one who has thus known himself and possessed himself, conquering all opposition within himself, has by that very fact extended himself and his conquest, making it easier for others to make the same or a similar conquest. These are the pioneers or the elite who, by a victorious campaign within themselves, help others towards their victory. Our Divine Mother says this promise Sri Aurobindo has made, and he based it on the knowledge he had that the supramental force was on the point of manifesting on the earth. In fact, it has descended in him long ago. He knew it and knew what its effects were. And now that it has manifested universally, I could say generally, the certainty of the possibility of transformation is, of course, still greater. There is no longer any doubt that those who will fulfill or who now fulfill the conditions are on the way to this transformation. The conditions Sri Aurobindo gives in detail in the synthesis of yoga and in still greater detail in his last article on the supramental manifestation. So now it is only a question of realization, says our Divine Mother. A Divine Mother says, people do not know what a tremendous sacrifice Sri Aurobindo has made for the world. About a year ago, while I was discussing things, I remarked that I felt like leaving this body of mine. He spoke out in a very firm tone. No, this can never be. If necessary for this transformation, I might go. You will have to fulfill our yoga of supramental descent and transformation, says our Divine Mother. Sri Aurobindo, incarnating the supramental consciousness, is our Divine Mother. Sri Aurobindo, incarnating the supramental consciousness in a human body, has not only revealed to us the nature of the path to follow and the way to follow it in order to reach the goal, but has also, by his own personal realization, given us the example. He has provided us, so to say, with the proof that the thing can be done and that the time has come to do it. Next subtopic, why Sri Aurobindo came upon earth. Our Divine Mother says, Sri Aurobindo came upon the earth to announce the manifestation of the supramental world, and not merely did he announce this manifestation, but embodied also in part the supramental force and showed by example what one must do to prepare oneself for manifesting it. The best thing, says our Divine Mother, the best thing we can do is to study all that he has told us and endeavor to follow his example and prepare ourselves for the new manifestation. This gives life its real sense and will help us to overcome all the obstacles. Let us live for the new creation. We shall grow stronger and stronger by remaining young and progressive. Our Divine Mother says, Sri Aurobindo gave his life so that he may be born into the divine consciousness. We stand in the presence of him, says our Divine Mother. We stand in the presence of him who has sacrificed his physical life in order to help move fully his work of transformation. He is always with us, aware of what we are doing, of all our thoughts, all our feelings, and our actions, says our Divine Mother. The most noble sacrifice is the next topic. Our Divine Mother says, and for the first time, I see how one can have faith in the divine grace, an unshakable faith without the least anxiety about the work which he had accomplished. It was phenomenal. The consciousness he had accumulated in himself, it was extraordinary, says our Divine Mother. The level he has reached with diverse and unknown realizations, and a single decision that the work for hastening the descent of the supramental world would be done faster if he left the body in order to work more effectively in the subtle physical. And at once he left his body behind and launched himself to conquer this domain of the subtle world which still resisted. It was not the perception of the unreality of life that made him leave his body, but it was the conviction of his faith that to win this victory, he had to be free to prepare the ground in order to bring down the truth upon earth, so that this work of transformation is done in spite of all consequences. One word from above and the decision was taken like a decree. This is the most noble sacrifice that has ever been made. No, it is a total self-abandonment into the supreme ecstasy which he alone could do, to annihilate oneself completely in order to exist in him alone, says our Divine Mother. This is taken from the Supreme Discovery, page 38 and 39. Next subtopic, all that was promised is now materializing. Our Divine Mother says, formidable. What power and consciousness, what knowledge, what compassion, what light he had in him. And he commanded me, you shall do my work of transformation upon earth. My help is there. Our Divine Mother says, so I did not think at all. I did not formulate anything, but with confidence I launched myself into this work which he had so laboriously undertaken, had now commanded me to do so, to continue until it is done. I do not question. What he had wanted has to be done, and without him I can do nothing. At each step, he is there to support my effort, to push me further, to guide me, to enlighten me if I ever hesitated.
Kept God in their heart. Courage their armor. Faith their sword. They must walk the hand ready to smite, the eye to scout, casting a javelin regard in front, heroes and soldiers of the army of light.
Our Divine Mother says, at each step, He is there to support my effort, to push me further, to guide me, to enlighten me if ever I hesitate. And what a formidable work we have accomplished together. All that was conceived, all that was promised is now materializing, and the transformation of the body is no longer a vain mirage. It is a fact, a process that has taken root and is developing and moving steadily towards a luminous future. These are the words of our Divine Mother.